from the business desk might be interested in a colour run.
I couldn't get a place. I did try.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe next year.
I'll be first on the list.
Okay, well, let's move on to less colourful, less celebratory events. The markets around the world not having a really great start to their week.
Now, there is a colour there, but unfortunately that colour is red because those markets are trading in negative territory across most of Asia as the trading week gets underway there. That's partly a hangover from what was happening on Wall Street on Friday. We saw big losses. They're mainly driven down by technology shares. A big faller on the Nikkei in Tokyo today is Sharp, the electronics company. Their shares down quite significantly, actually, as the company announced it was seeking new ways of raising capital. The situation in Ukraine also causing quite a bit of tension on the Asian markets. You can see fairly small movements there. The price of gold as well has gone up. This is the usual movement. People go to safe havens when things are uncertain in the world. Okay, good for people with gold stockpiles at home. Let's move on to the International Monetary Fund. They've had their spring meeting over the weekend. We've had some interesting comments come out of there from Mario Draghi, among others. That's right. The ECB president says that he would be indicated that he would perhaps take further stimulus measures in the Eurozone to try and help the low rate of inflation that we've seen in recent time. He said the bank's board is in favour of extraordinary measures to address the low rate of rising prices. That could mean further interest rate cuts, but it also might mean the bank engaging in some bond buying, similar to what the Federal Reserve has been doing in the United States. Now, that risk of deflation or falling prices, I mean, it's been hanging over the Eurozone economy today. We've been hearing from the German Finance Minister, Wolfgang Schäuble, who says that there's no sign of a deflation cycle in Europe, and he says that Mario Draghi's comments to the IMF do confirm that.
Okie doke. Well, we're going to look across the Atlantic to Washington now. We're much more used to hearing about technology companies being in Silicon Valley. We know they've got those amazing Google headquarters and all that sort of thing, haven't they? They might have to move those amazing headquarters perhaps to Washington, DC.
Yeah, that's right. There's a new host of startups taking hold in the US capital. They're looking to cash in on the resources of the federal government by attracting startups to the area. Fledgling companies who are in DC say it's not just helpful to have ready-made consumers on Capitol Hill, it's also a good place to recruit talent, as William Edwards now reports.
1776 says it wants to start a tech revolution. Named after the year the US declared independence, this incubator for technology startups says Washington is ready for a shake-up.
We still access education and healthcare and transportation, energy in the same way we did decades ago. And so DC is poised to be a hub of entrepreneurship because those industries are really ripe for disruption.
Just a year after opening, around 200 companies are based here, attracted both by tax incentives and private funding. New ventures get to interact with other startups and have access to visiting technology and business experts. Among the companies here is RideScout. Their app allows users to look up all kinds of travel options. For them, the proximity of government agencies here makes a difference.
We've talked to the Department of Transportation. This is something we think, federal entities would find very useful, both at their workforce level and from a policy perspective.
It's not just access to government that's useful, though. It's also access to the talent that government attracts.
The federal government is always recruiting some of the top computer scientists, and we're able to attract that talent to work at our company.
A 2013 survey by Fast Company magazine found DC had a higher number of startups per capita than any US state. While it may not be about to out-innovate Silicon Valley, it looks like Washington will soon be known for more than just politics.
There we go. Thanks very much. Stephen Carroll with the business news here on Live from Paris. We're going to turn our attention now to goings-on on the web, starting with the controversial appointment of the former US Secretary of State to the board of photo-sharing company Dropbox.
Dropbox's decision, made official on April the 9th to appoint Condoleezza Rice to the Cloud Storage Services Board of Directors, has sparked heated online debate, with many concerned about her political past. Critics say during her time in office, a former Secretary of State for the George W. Bush administration was involved with, amongst other things, setting up the warrantless telephone monitoring of US citizens. This is the main grievance aired by creators of Dropbox.com, launched shortly after her appointment. Web users want her out, saying the selection of Condoleezza Rice casts great doubt on Dropbox's commitment to protecting clients' business and personal data. They're urging the firm's chief executive, Drew Houston, to ditch the former Secretary of State. Many have taken to social networks with the same request, posting under the Dropbox hashtag, slamming the questionable move and calling on web users to boycott Dropbox as long as Condoleezza Rice remains on the board of directors. The online opposition has prompted a reaction from Dropbox. In this online statement, the company's founder assures clients that Rice's experience will benefit the company in its international expansion. And her appointment changes nothing as far as the company's commitment to privacy protection is concerned. The customers can rest assured their data is properly protected and safe from surveillance. A song promoting agriculture in Africa. 19 of Africa's biggest music stars, including Ivorian artist Tikenja Fakoly and Algeria's Rachid Taha, have teamed up and released this music video to YouTube. It was recorded as part of the Do Agric campaign launched by the NGO One, which works to end extreme poverty. The aim of this campaign is to raise awareness about the difficulties facing African farmers. And web users are urged to show their support by signing this online petition, telling African leaders to invest in and support the continent's agricultural sector. As the campaign instigators have pointed out, 2/3 of Africans depend on agriculture for their livelihood, but they're lacking in resources and hope the African heads of state will honour the commitment made in 2003 to spend 10% of national budgets on agriculture investments. A promise that could help lift over 85 million Africans out of poverty. This is what the NGO is forecasting in this infographic available on the campaign's website. It shows us, for example, that by devoting 15% of their national budget to agriculture, Burkina Faso and Ethiopia have created hundreds of thousands of jobs and significantly reduced their poverty levels. Marutaro the hedgehog is proving very popular on Twitter, with close to 50,000 followers. He poses with paper masks made by his Japanese owner, and the photos are shared on social media, where he has become something of a sensation. He also has a Vine account recounting his daily adventures, a spot of bowling, for example, or a walk in the countryside. Google Maps has put together a guided nighttime tour of Marseille, so web users can head to the Cours Julien neighbourhood and become a virtual tourist, with videos, panoramic photos and other features providing all sorts of interesting information. The immersive experience, accessible via the Google Chrome browser only, is narrated by a local who takes visitors to meet graffiti artists and street musicians around the French city. The Croisons-les Tumblr blog, belonging to French graphic designer Guillaume Tissé, sees celebrity faces morphed together, resulting in a gallery of unlikely portraits where Vladimir Putin meets Angela Merkel, Barack Obama meets the Pope, and Justin Bieber meets Franck Ribéry. These astonishing photomontages feature well-known faces from politics, sports, movies and more, and are available to view online. The guys from the Dude Perfect collective are back with a new trick shot video, showcasing their amazing skills. Watch them pull off one impressive trick shot after another in this video, available to view in its entirety on YouTube.
A couple inches as well. And this is the locker room bounce shot. Got him. They call me the Stairmaster. This is the camera platform shot.
All good fun, but I personally have a hard time believing it's not been edited that way. There we go. We're going to take a short break now on Live from Paris. But coming up, more on all our top news stories. And as the tension continues to mount in the east of Ukraine, in today's special focus report, we're going behind both sides of the Ukraine-Russian border. Do stay with us.